All right. 25 of the deck. We have the mocks tomorrow. Makes sense, I think, to continue working on this list. See if we want to make any changes before the big tournament tomorrow. As far as from yesterday to today, I ended up cutting the third Lrien Revealed for the first Stomping Ground. There's been several moments where I've wanted to fetch the Stomping Ground, and sorry, excuse me. I didn't want to cut a fetch land. I didn't want to cut any of the other fetchables, so I think cutting a Lrien Revealed makes sense. I also think it made sense to cut the third Commandeer. I think with one less Commandeer, like the pressure on the number of blue cards you have is like a little bit less there. Where we added the Elishnorn as a sideboard card for the mirror, and then we added an Alpine Moon. So I'm playing the fourth Charmaw over. I basically playing the fourth Charmaw over the third Commandeer. Tron is just like it's a hard matchup, and I think it's like one of going to be the most popular matchups that we're week 2. And I just want to be very ready for it with 4 Charmaws and a Moon. Not like a lot to go over besides that. Still not like sold on the Ashiok. Still not sold on the Ashiok, but I think it more or less makes sense with us like wanting to hedge a little bit more against Titan decks too. I haven't really even drawn it yet. Saying favorites with Prime. Thank you. Welcome back. I saw a question about Rock. Yeah, I'm sure Gab is playing his like very cool sideboard plan. I'm excited to look at like any changes he made to the deck. I tuned in for a little bit this morning, so he was 1 and 2 in the prelim, which is kind of tough. Whereas Ashiok 4, mostly Primeval Titan decks, but there's a few like graveyard focused strategies you can board it in for. Okay, we're up against Kahira this Friday morning. Yeah, the thing about Charmaw 2 is like, and why I think it's a lot better against Tron, is it puts like a lot of pressure on your opponent, which is something you really struggle with in the matchup. Is like simultaneously blowing up their lands and pressuring them. So I think that I'm still partial to the Charmaws for that reason, but I like Naseef's points too. I also, kind of upgraded the fetchable lands here. I thought you said Nissa was insane. Why cut the second one? Nissa is insane. They have some degree of diminishing returns, so the second copy of Nissa is not as good as the first Nissa. But I am concerned about pitch card color count. I felt that I was a little bit short of the quantity of pitch colors, and so I decided to play the second Omnath. Second Omnath also helps the burn matchup like significantly. It's like a lot more realistic that you can rely on finding a copy of that card over the course of a game. Oh, I have both dogs in here. You guys, does anyone want to come and sit on this couch, huh? Do any dogs want to sit on this couch? Alright, probably... guess not definitive yet. Force Teferi, that's fine. They only have 2 cards in their hand. I played Fear's deck 6 times in 17 league matches yesterday. I have yet to play the mirror, but I am excited that people are picking the deck up. Alan with the 3? Uh-oh. I guess we can kill that with Bloodbraid Elf. Fury would be a good draw. Okay, find a Logic Knot. Ooh, Binding. I think I should probably just Bloodbraid Elf. I'm not going to get the card. From the Cascade, but I think I like proactively killing the Narset. Like if I binding Narset then play Beanstalk, that could also be a fine line. But I like that if I do this, then I get to draw a card off my binding next turn. This is kind of like the bad outcome that my opponent has their last card is Leyline Binding exactly. That's like the worst outcome. But it's not even so bad because now Fire Ice can kill the Narset. Assuming they don't find Logic Knot or something. Assuming I'm going to be playing in Dallas this week, what I say is good against this deck. Well, Red-Green Valakut seems to be very good. Okay, they bounce my Beanstalk and they find another Binding. So let's... Fire... Probably just Fire, actually. Well, they made Logic Knot this Fire, I suppose. On the other hand, is Binding Logic Knot. Counterspell, sure. They maybe I guess they're saving the Logic Knot for a Beanstalk, but I wonder if they were supposed to. I wonder if they were supposed to use the Logic Knot, because now I know they have another counterspell. I can play around it a little bit easier. Yeah, so I'm going to Shock first, because I know they have Logic Knot. I'm going to play a Beanstalk. Yeah, classic blue-white control, double plains, draw. Okay, they just have another counterspell, but they don't have Logic Knot up anymore. They do have a Leyline Binding, so they can Binding in response to this, but that is kind of okay. I'm gonna target their Binding, I think. I don't wanna let them mess with ETB triggers. Canister, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome everybody from Canister's channel. First match of the day, first game of the day. Okay, opponent's last card is a Logic Knot here. And then they just drew another one off Bean. This is definitely a very good top deck from them. I guess we bait with Nissa. Very grindy game so far. Okay, opponent now has the complete Bean advantage. Deck seems pretty well metagamed for the matchup. They don't have that many counterspells left. They've used 2 counterspells and a Logic Knot so far. I guess if we see Archmage Charm, all of a sudden they're just gonna have a lot more. Okay, just another Logic Knot. Yeah. Maybe take an L here. Kind of sad we only have 2 Commandeers for this matchup. We also have the L Storm of the Nexus. We have a lot of sideboard cards. I'll take a draw step or 2. WRRY home. Thank you for Switch Prime. Oh, we have 7 mana Commandeered a couple times. Yeah, yeah. The Beans have forsaken us. Kind of feels like a losing fight to Bloodbraid attack Teferi, but don't think we're quite in the concession zone yet. Destroy all enchantments target player controls. Interesting. Truly don't hate it. Mox is the Magic Online Championship Series. You have to go through, you have to top 8 one of the big qualifier tournaments that are usually huge for Modern to advance to the next level. The next level is really, really exciting. It's like a 32 players around that size. Pro Tour qualifier, top 2 people get Pro Tour invites, and Mox invites, which is really, really big. We've made it to that level a couple times. I don't really play it. Every year I'm like, I'm gonna play a ton of Mox events, and every year I don't really. Maybe next year. Is this prismatic ending on Bloodbraid Elf? Kihira. But they have 5 cards in their hand, and then they just put Kihira. That's surprising. I guess I'm gonna just Cascade. So they counterspell my Beans. Go Bloodbraid Elves. Okay, we had to put it for 6. They're down to 10. They're taking 2 down to 8. Still feeling very unlikely to win, but I'll play it out. also like... Well, hold on, what is their win condition? Yeah, I'm not actually convinced that my opponents could be able to kill me. Yeah, they got a Kahira. Must be Omnath. They sometimes play Omnath, but not always. They've already used 2 Force of Negations. Interesting. So I can go like Teferi, bounce this Binding. Evoke Solitude. I guess I don't need to evoke Solitude now. Let me just kind of get it. I have 2 more Solitude. I have a lot more action in the deck. I think it should be fine. Miss Lethal, they have 1 ring protection. Chatter. They have 1 ring protection, my friend. Thank you for coming to twitch.tv/Aspiringspike. Overcommit to Verdict? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't have cast the Omnath, huh? Especially with the Teferi. For color mirror, well, they're really blue-white, but yeah, these mirrors are tough. Yeah, this is definitely a Nexus matchup. Are they gonna let me untap with Teferi? Okay, not that I can punish them, I guess. Yeah, my opponent might deck themselves, though. Gaia Reach. Did I ring before they deck themselves? Well, that's probably not going to be a problem. Wow, I could not believe they're playing another Beanstalk here. Holy shit. So they've already played a land this turn, so I guess I can play around like Subtlety by casting this now. Not that they would really realistically have that card here. So they have 10 cards left. How many Solitudes do they have? They still have 2 Solitudes. They do have ring protection. My dear Twitch chatters. We get to do the 1 white draw a card thing for a little bit. It's been a little while since I've done this cycle Leyline Binding thing. Oh fuck, there's a Narset. Okay, I guess just give me back the Binding and I'll try to target a creature. Bloodbraid, well they have protection from everything, so like, I guess I get to put the Narset to 2, but I think I mostly just want to like draw like Furies and Solitudes and Bindings and just like remove any win conditions they can have and let them deck themselves. But it says, what if our Bindings held hands? It's funny. Yeah, Narset, I agree, it seems very good at the moment. They have 9 cards. Ah, they won't deck if they Daze Undoing. Think you need to bind the Narset in response? Well, the card draw has happened before you can Binding. Okay, I'm gonna pack it in there. I want 1 Endurance. Don't think I want Charmaw. Yeah, I'm not super afraid of decking with Nexus and Endurance, but I think 1 Endurance in general. It's kind of nice to pressure their Planeswalkers too. Yeah, Stomping Ground over 3rd Lorien. You don't like full price Charmaw? Not really. I know some people seem to really like just boarding in Charmaws in these matchups, and they're not like I've done it when I have like nothing else to bring in, but that's pretty like just not very good. I don't know. It's very mediocre play, I think. Yeah, Fury over Solitude because it kills their Planeswalkers and kills their creatures, whereas Solitude only gets their creatures, albeit at instant speed. It's also more of a clock against the control player. If they make a big shark or something, we still have Leyline Binding. DG Jeff for 20 months. Thank you. I can't find Nexus to another suggestion. I guess another Alishnorn, maybe. Like there's sometimes like you just have like a lot of dead cards against blue-white control, and so like you'll bring in the Charmaws, but this isn't that dynamic, I think. What should replace Nissa? I don't know. I mean, are you saying you just don't have Nissa? I think the first Nissa is really, really, really good. I'd recommend getting it. If you don't have it, you can just play another Omnath. Ashiok messing with their Days Undoing seems good. How does Ashiok mess with their Days Undoing plan? What do y'all think Ashiok does? So graveyard, yeah. What does that do against Days Undoing? By exiling their yard, it's like they still get to the part of the Narset Days Undoing thing that's good, right? Isn't it? The fact that they get to I probably should have commandeered this bean. Huh? Isn't it that they just get to shuffle everything back in? Like what are we talking about? They need to find both Narset and Days Undoing. With Ashiok, they can't find anything. I'm so confused. Yeah, like shuffling their cards back in is not the good part of Narset Days Undoing. It's the fact that your opponent gets to draw no cards. I'll take that, Bean. I'll take that. Okay, I have a force. Could have been okay to like cycle the Fury. It's okay, I think. I missed their Commandeer. Not really. It's so early to miss it, I guess. Right, that's 2 mana. Guess let's attack for 2 first. Okay, you spend 2 mana. I spend 2 mana. One of us draws 3 cards. Who could remember which one of us? Who can remember? Just bounce their beans. I'm so ahead. I just want to make their mana inefficient. Yeah, it's tough to play on force, but yeah, if we have Teferi, you don't need to worry about it at least. Okay, bounce their bean back. They're reclaiming the bean advantage. Guess because I have some worse Cascade stuff like Teferi, we'll pitch the Bloodbraid. So I can't go Nissa into Agent into Ice. It's probably okay, huh? It is nice just because we have a Nexus of Fate and an Endurance. We could just put as many beans into play as possible without worrying about it. Just all beans all the way down. It is nice that in this matchup you just kind of like casually get pretty ahead on board. It's, I think, difficult for your opponent to keep in like a ton of Supreme Verdicts and stuff post board. Oh, there's a Supreme Verdict. Still, we're hitting them for 7 here. We basically have them to 1 if we want. Or we can binding this and basically put them at 1. That seems pretty valuable. We won't draw cards, but maybe we've drawn enough cards. Oh, I guess we can still find Nissa. We can still find a Fury off the Nissa actually. Let's see if we do that. Or Bloodbraid Elf for the win. Okay, there's Fury. I don't want to hardcast it. I don't really want to evoke. I guess we probably do just evoke, huh? This way we can try to dig for another Fire, Ice, or Bloodbraid Elf off the Leyline Binding. Or Nexus of Fate for that matter. Okay, ding ding ding. Win win win. Quad beans in play. Can Commandeer Supreme Verdict. It's not that they're getting a turn. Okay, game 3. Could have had Besage. They didn't have 2 mana, did they? Is Nexus better than 13 Emrakul? I think so, yeah. I think it is. Because like 13 mana Emrakul is like realistically like a 9 mana play if you're like probably closer to 10. I don't know, like you're gonna have creature. I guess maybe if you have ice, like, yeah, 9 or 10. Nexus is a good bit cheaper in this build. Yeah, Bloodbraid is not only playable in Modern, it's weirdly really good. But it's like, it's also like this Bloodbraid Elf deck. What happens when you cast a Bloodbraid Elf? You cast a Teferi, you cast a Nissa, you cast a Shardless Agent into Bean, or you cast a Bean. That's always, any of that's great. There are no bad Bloodbraid Elves in this deck. It's always like an absurd card. So hit this, hit this, hit this, or hit this. Those are the only things you can hit, and it's all nuts. What changed them down to 2 Lrien Revealed? I really wanted the first Stomping Ground, or I wanted the Stomping Ground, and Lrien Revealed was the land to cut to make room for the Stomping Ground, I think. I was also comfortable going down to 2 Commandeers, so I feel like a little bit less of a need to have as many blue cards. Would ever want to hit a Narset? Yeah, you could register Narset in this deck if that's what you're asking. Am I supposed to jam the Beanstalk here? Yeah, I was joking about Commandeer on Verdict. I think I'm not going to. I think I'll just pass, and then if my opponent plays something I want a Binding, I can go Beanstalk Binding next turn and not just play into Counterspell. So they've already used 1 Force of Negation. Ooh, nice. Oh, nice. Leyline Binding. Would be a shame if I just had second Leyline Binding. I can never remember. Is it better to binding their binding? I think it is, so that I can bounce this potentially later. Okay, you got 2 cards in your hand. Your turn. That's a good card. It's kind of like a cute 4-mana draw spell. So they're not verdicting because they got Island. They minus Narset. Narset is dead. My one regret is we don't get to draw any cards off this Beanstalk trigger. Thankfully we have another Beanstalk trigger on the way. Love to find a Commandeer. Maybe asking for too much. I really do like that it would, because we have a Nexus and Endurance. Like we can play all the beans without really worrying about decking. Yeah, we don't really need to worry about decking with Nexus plus Endurance. It's just not a concern. They find a counterspell. Pretty sure I just want to start off attack them. Well, no, I'll kill the Narset with the Bloodbraid. It is nice with Elishtar, you just like they just can't have removal. They have pro everything, or did Elishar's up to trigger? They have pro everything for a turn. Could be good to like leave them with the ring, to be honest, but I think there's a good chance they even just counterspell this. This is kind of the bait spell. Is playing Omnath overcommitting into Supreme Verdict? Yeah, I want to be able to go Omnath into Nexus potentially. What I think I'm going to do is play Teferi plus Teferi. Cycle this so that I can have the fetch land for Omnath next turn. Oh, fuck. I did not mean to. I guess I still get to go Omnath fetch land, but I meant to play my stupid land drop and ice them. Oops. They're also, you know, they're going to 4 and I have a fire ice in my hand. It's also very hard for them to, like, verdict me. They have to have verdict. And then also, like, bounce their ring. They have to have, like, I don't even know. Like, they're just dying to their ring here. I guess if I take a lot of turns with Nexus of Fate, they're not going to die. Okay, defeated blue-white control. One ring sucks. Worse than the bean. We get some more spicy scales action sometime soon. Probably at some point I'll play scales again. We just have the box this weekend, and this deck is like definitely what we're playing, so I need to spend some time tuning. We have Lethal Luster and Omnath in the fetch. Oh right, we hit them for 4. I always forget about that. Could be the mirror. which I have not played, and I'm not like super looking forward to. I tend to not count mirrors for the record. Overall record, I think it kind of dilutes the data, but I think I'll just go ahead and say if this is the mirror, we won't count it. We did that recently with the mono blue cauldron deck, and then we didn't count it and we won the game, so I think it's fine to just have that be the philosophy. Not that we know if this is the mirror or not for sure, but it does look like it. Have I considered adding Fable? No, not at all. Fable's worse than our other 3 drops. Yeah, we trophied our first league with the deck. We have like 2 4-1s, 3 4-1s, something like that. Okay, it's the mirror. maybe we'll see a few mirrors today. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a trick to the mirror. Honestly, I feel like game 1, you really just don't want to have 3 beans in play. You want to have 2 beans in play, maybe. There's like maybe you're just supposed to like hope you draw a lot better than your opponents. That could be, you know, a strat. I actually think that we're probably just supposed to hardcast Fury, just like. Because we're just going to both draw our deck, so we just want to have, like, the most impactful plays per this game, if that makes sense. And we want to both, like, stay ahead on board while also... we want to stay ahead on board while also, like, making sure that they deck, if possible. I'm not sure. Yeah, we maybe didn't break the format, but I think we definitely warped it, at least. Is it not drawing your opponent always the strat? I mean, that's like always like the nice way to win the mirror. But I think, you know, it's kind of nice we get to test the mirror before the mocks tomorrow, because I think so. I think more people will play this at the mocks tomorrow, of course. And I think just like having this plan of, I'm going to like hardcast my incarnations a lot. This seems like a good thought to me, because my opponent's just going to like not have enough gas to close, unless they've done something like main decked an endurance. Main decking endurance might be the move for the mirror, to be honest. Yeah, we have 3 endurances in the sideboard. They shock and Hallowed Fountain. Their life total is also, you know, theoretically killable. Yeah, I do think if in the Bean arms race, maybe you just want to main deck an endurance. But my opponent's also like, they're just gonna deck themselves. I hate to say it, they might even wreck themselves. I don't know. I would be remiss to say that that's not a possibility. It's like, especially with the Solitude life gain, it's just like so... I feel like it's just impossible to kill your opponent. I don't know. It's like, how do you kill your opponent in this matchup if one player doesn't just draw poorly? I guess Teferi seems really important. Isn't main deck endurance awkward Bloodbraid Elf? I mean, yeah. I mean, Shardless in the Bloodbraid Elf, that's not like that bad of a play. But if you have 1 endurance in the main, all of a sudden like you're just super favored in the mirror. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think my opponent is not... I think they are... Maybe they have an endurance if they're drawing cards this aggressively also. And so if they have an endurance, we get to see, like, does that just beat the mirror? Infinite turns. Yeah, a Nexus of Fate is also, like... you could main deck the Nexus of Fate if the metagame gets super duper inbred. So Mindex Elf Storm and say this deck wins. Just you can bounce with Teferi for a few turns and attack them. Like if they have bomb plus a ton of stuff, it's tough. But you also like just have a lot of creatures that can attack. One thing against Elfstorm is like my opponent played Elfstorm and then I just had a bunch of beans in play. And I just put like a couple Solitudes into play. I just like drew and they just came into play and I was able to and they stay in play because they don't die. I was able to bounce Teferi and attack them, or bounce Elfstorm and attack my opponent. That's how I won that one game. I do think Teferi on the play might be a good way to win the mirror. How does Nexus stop us from winning? Okay, chat. We need. I don't know if this. I know Doomake has a very funny pinned comment. Chat. You are not going to kill yourself with Nexus of Fate. I know that you are just. You can't get this picture out of your head. Oh no, Nexus. Oh no. It's a nightmare. Like you wake up and you haven't studied for a test. It's a nightmare. You wake up and oh no, my library. I have a Beanstalk in play and oh my only card is Nexus of Fate. No. If you've gotten yourself in that position, you have messed up. You have messed up to not either win the game before that happens. Bounce your Beanstalks with Teferi, endurance yourself so that doesn't happen. There's not a realistic scenario where that happens and you haven't fucked up. There's in my opinion. Yeah, Narsets would be good in the mirror too. Like this scenario that you're envisioning, like Nexus is already taking you like 6 or 7 extra turns or something. That's probably enough to win. But you can also plan for this eventuality. There's a 2-mana kill-all enchantment card, the Back to Nature. That card does seem pretty slick at the moment. It is symmetrical though. Yeah, Force of Vigor is probably good in the mirror too. I'm so ahead on cards here. I should be able to put this extra Beanstalk into play, I guess. Oh, I'm out of beans? Wait, how do I have no beans left? They all got binding? Sure. Yeah, I think, again, I'm just going to have this philosophy. I'm just, you get to a point where you just don't evoke your stuff. That's going to be my game plan. Just hardcast your stuff. Mobius, 22 months, welcome back. Should we be in here? No, it's just like they have 18 cards in their deck. They have 3 beans in play. I'm way ahead on board. Anything they play, I just 5 mana Solitude, exile it. There's just no reason to play a bean, I think. You know, just like Ancestral Recall says, draw 3 cards or force your opponent to draw 3 cards. Being, you know, so you force yourself to draw cards. It's tough. It's very similar. Yeah, they could have endurance in the main. As the I built this deck, so I'm going to mostly think that they copied the list. Is going to be my current guess, but we may be in a bit of an arms race, or the arms race isn't over. Leave No Trace. The problem with Leave No Trace is it doesn't kill beans and binding, so it kills one or the other. But it could be good. Kind of a bad card to cascade into. Oh, they're main decking a Time Warp. Uh-oh, they have a Time Warp. They're not playing my list. I think I still am not counting it. We'll see. I can't imagine it ends up being super different though. Oh, Leave No Trace is also symmetrical. I see. Yeah, but if they have a second Time Warp here, I could lose. Although if they have a second Time Warp, they draw 3. 4. Yeah, even Fury plus Time Warp is 1 short of lethal. We'll see what happens. They have 5 mana Teferi? No, they don't. 3 mana Teferi. Where's the 5 mana Teferi? I'm losing my mind. Did my first list have main deck Time Warp? I mean, that deck was pretty different, but it was like the... It was very different from this deck, but it was the successor to this one, or predecessor to this one, for sure. Okay, they have 5 cards. They cast Time Warp, they go down to 2 cards. Attack me for 9. They have to have another creature plus a Time Warp. So no more Time Warps available. Nothing to Cascade into either. Hitting me for a lot here. Me for 10 down to 4. They can cast one more, you know, bean spell, but that'll be it this game. Maybe 1 2 hours run to the side. Yeah, I think we may want to, we may need to respect the mirror a bit more. It does, I agree, feel like people are high on the deck. Okay, I don't love not hitting another white card here. Oh, am I going to be just dead to Fire Ices? I think I am. Could have drawn a little bit better, but... Like, so, like, I'm dead to a single Fire Ice plus any other removal spell. I don't know how they can't have it. I only see 1 Fire Ice in the yard. Really got by that main deck Time Warp, Oh, we're also just dead to Fury, right? Sure. Does Geist make sense? The Geist is an awful card. Don't delete it from your databank, probably. I don't think you want more than 1 endurance. Probably happy to be like at least 61. You go to 1? I'm a 4 life and they kill... Wait, why do I go to 1? Didn't Fury kill both of my creatures and they had 2 Bloodbraids in play and I was at 4? I'm also dead to Fire Ice for sure. Wasn't my board two Solitudes? It was Fury's. Oh, it was Fury's Solitude. I see. I mean, I really can't not be dead to a Fire Ice there, unless they only have 1 Fire Ice in their deck. I think it's okay. Oh yeah, we need the cut to kill their Hellish Storm. Good to cut a Solitude, actually. Yeah, there's. I don't think there's any way that they only have 1 Fire Ice in their deck. Oh, yeah, they could have also, yeah, we were dead, but yeah, sorry, I did miss that we had a moment's breath, I suppose. Does feel like Teferi on the play seems like a good way to steal a game. Yeah, we did bring in the cut, yeah. And then you can plus the player on Fury or minus the player on Binding. Plus the player on Fury. So they have their own Teferi. Pretty good, huh? Straw card. I think I just want to be mana efficient. I have, you know, I'm just, there's like never going to be a turn in this game where I don't use all my mana. Let's just clock their Teferi. What do you think of adding in Zagoth Triome instead of Zagoth? The problem is that it's not tutorable with Lrien Revealed. So like your mana is a little bit worse, but you can tutor both your Triomes with Revealed, which I think is better. But it's a convo for sure. This is the mirror, baby. They have a Solitude, I guess. Let's play around Fury. Plays into Fury. Shh. Dynamics of boards change. I'm gonna slam the Elish Norn. How good is Lrien? I feel like it's mostly a Commandeer consideration. I've casted it and won the game because it was in the deck and I was flooding a few times. Just a good utility land. The best utility land of the deck. Oh, fuck. Do you enjoy power creep fundamentally changing the principles of resource management in the game? Okay. This is the most Reddit comment I've ever heard. It's just like, Spike, agree with me. Spike, please, 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 please. Complain with me today. I don't know, how do you respond to that question? This deck is pretty broken. I agree that this deck is pretty broken. I probably understand that better than most people. You don't have to like trick me into saying it, you know what I mean? It's even in the title. Ooh. Ah, there's a Teferi still though. You know, if they're playing Time Warp, they might not be on Nexus of Fate also. Guess I Lrien. I would really prefer to just evoke Solitude into play for 0 mana rather than do anything else. Really want to find a Teferi. And then I can try to also find Nexus. Alright, failed to find a Teferi. Mira's so dumb, dude. Good news, there's a BNR announcement. Not to get rid of brain for a moment, do you agree there's been a fundamental paradigm shift since the set I hated most, vis-a-vis the playability of my pet deck, causing me to chase the fields I can't achieve anymore now that my pet deck isn't as good compared to the new sets I refuse to adapt to? Could you please examine this ANOVA table where I compare R-squared scores of modern plays over time versus fun? Yeah, honestly, it's just that, like, Beanstalk is broken. Beanstalk is a broken Modern card. It is much better than the One Ring. It is the best card to draw engine Modern has ever seen. And building a deck like this, where your deck is just all beans and 0 mana spells, is pretty busted. Is my current thesis. Okay. But actually, it was Murderous Cut that was broken all along. Obviously, they could have a Commandeer, and then I would lose. No, now we just win. They're conceding? I think in general Modern has been amazing for like the last, like Image 2 onward has been my favorite period of Modern. Like I think before the printing of Beanstalk, the 4-color decks were like much more compatible and easier to beat. And I think more or less Beanstalk is a broken card. Like an actual like bannable broken card is my current opinion. Could also ban like Solitude, but I don't know. Beanstalk is not a broken card, it's a victim of its time. Yeah, people say this, but it's like, it's not a very productive, like, point, I think, typically, to be like, no, Beanstalk isn't broken. It's all the other cards with Modern around it. Like, obviously, yeah, it's only good because of its synergies. I get it, but it's kind of irrelevant. Like, it works well with so many cards in the Modern format. It's not even just like the Solitudes and Binding stuff. We played a lot of Bean decks, and they're good in a lot of shells. I guess I main phase this so they can't like Binding in response. I can discard a card. Oh, I have Commandeer up. Let's go, dude. What am I discarding? Not the Beanstalk, probably. Solitude, I guess. Yeah. One problem with the whole like there's a ban announcement on Monday thing is it's like it feels so early to like actually ban the card. Like I've only felt like it's like ban worthy and broken for like 3 days now, and there's a ban announcement on Monday. It's like still very early, but they could also like emergency ban something. They don't have to like just let it fester. So they hit a Teferi. If I commandeer this, I pitch the Solitude. So commandeering the Teferi is like. I mean, I should do it, I think, because otherwise I don't get to use the Commandeer. I could also theoretically draw Solitude white card. Not so likely, I suppose. It's okay. Feels like they need to do the Underworld Breach thing and let people learn to play with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. At the time of making this comment, I would be very surprised if Up the Beanstalk, or if they didn't do anything about this deck for a while, like, or sorry, I should maybe rephrase that. I really would be very surprised if they never banned anything in this deck. If they just let this be a thing. That being said, you know. Wizards does mostly do things around. I guess I should have made a white, then Binding the Beanstalk before I cracked this other fetch. Oh, and I was still thinking I was getting my landfall trigger, so I guess I'm not binding this turn, but just doing this. It is kind of interesting. Game 1, I think you don't want the Bean advantage. I think sideboard games, because you have Nexus, you do. That was game matchup. We haven't lost to it. We're like 2-0 or 3-0 against it. I think 3-0. If Fury goes Monday, does it impact here also? Yeah, I mean, I think banning Fury is a little weird of a like decision, but the Redditors will be feasting if they ban Fury, I'll tell you that. I guess maybe doing this main phase is wrong. I'll have to discard one card, though. If Grief goes, want to help this deck? Yeah, I don't. I think that if you ban Grief, you need to ban Bean. I think it would be a big problem to just ban Grief and leave Bean unbanned. But I think ban Grief, ban Bean, unban a card or two might be good. Shardless seems okay. I don't know. That's kind of a big change, I guess. But I agree. I would at this time of making this comment, I would not support the ban list just being unban Bean, no other changes. Let's just 1 mana. I guess I could have also left Zagoth Triome untapped that turn. Oh, we also have. If they attack here, we have a sneaky Flash and Solitude triple block. Bring back Yorion to Riot. Dude, Yorion is like so bad for gameplay. It's okay, yeah, yes, unban your pet card. Yeah, never mind, I take it back, unban your pet card. Yes, I agree, actually. Uh-oh. I'm not in favor of Green Sun Zenith unban. It's just gonna make Titan much stronger. This is the first mirror match. I don't know. I just tend to not add mirror match records to data, win or lose. Like I just don't really see how relevant it is. Discarding 3 cards. Fuck. Yeah, their build is a little different from mine, but you can kind of always expect that to be the case to some degree in mirror matches. Really wish I had a red card to put a Fury into play here. A little late. If you think you broker the format or up to winning, you at least want to know how the mirror plays out. Well, we're playing the mirror right now. I get to get that experience. The mirror will always end with one of the players piloting the deck winning. I'm just saying we're not adding it to the overall record because it's like I don't see how it's like a super relevant data point. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, but it's not like I'm just like conceding. Like we're playing, we've spent the last like 35 minutes playing this match. How your version performs the mirror matters. Yeah, but like right now, like my opponent's list is like 2 cards different from mine. I don't know. It's a little too early. The decks haven't like variated enough. We haven't lost the scam yet. We're like 3-0 against or something. I don't know. Like here, my opponent drew their Norn. I didn't draw my Norn. or my Murderous Cut. Seems good in the mirror. Yeah, they have Force of Vigor. Their list is a little different from mine, but is it meaningfully different enough to like not to count in the record? I don't think it is. If we draw a Murderous Cut here, go cut Elish Norn, untap, take an extra turn. So no Beanstalks left in my deck, unfortunately. Oh, maybe I was supposed to go Shardless and try to hit Teferi and save the Nexus. Wait, did I just win? Did not just win. Gonna put my opponent to 1 though. If I draw another Bloodbraid, I tied it out my Fire Ices, right? But this version also seems worse at decking. Oh, they solituded their own Bloodbraid Elf, of course. Oh no, they boarded an Endurance actually. Okay. So they cast Elish Norn, they go to 8 cards in their deck, but they're gonna find their Endurance. That's I guess not super relevant. How many Teferis do I have left? I have Still two. I have 2 Teferis and a Murderous Cut left. It's kind of a big deal. I didn't board an Ashiok. I don't think you're supposed to, but it actually might be good. Does have 4 minutes on the clock, but they can probably finish this game in time. They have another binding. Are you sure you didn't exile any of them? Any of those cards? Yeah, I checked my exile. So they have 12 cards in their hand right now. Yeah, we saw that they did board in an endurance though, so like we can't really expect them to just deck themselves. Oh yeah, back to next year would be pretty fun. Come on, Teferi. Oh fuck. There's their own Teferi in play, huh? Do I attack them down to 1 though? Sure. Man, they're going down to 0 cards in their library. But then they're gonna endurance. So maybe play 2 agents here. No, they have endurance in their deck, so they get to endurance all this back in. The problem here is, like, even if I start finding my Nexus of Fate, I mean, I guess I can still just draw Murderous Cut the Elesh Norn, and start hard casting this stuff to maybe stabilize. I'm also taking 4 from this Omnath this turn. Well, they might be able to fetchables. Oh yeah, they have no more fetchables. That's actually kind of big. I don't have to take 4. Trade here, take 4 from the Elesh Norn. Murderous Cut. Freaking Windswept Heath, dude. Pretty sure I'm dead. Now I don't even think if I draw Murderous Cut I win. I don't know. Their clock is really low. I think that they shouldn't really have any problems just killing both creatures here and attacking me. Yeah, they'll do it. Yeah, never should have unbanned Bloodbraid. Is that really more fun gameplay than getting group scanned? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the goal of the channel is not... Obviously, fun gameplay is ideal. The goal of this channel is to build the best decks we can. Yeah, the Valakut matchup seems tough. Like, it is like a little early. We gotta see what ways to combat it there are. Marsh Flats. It's good. Sacred Foundry, Lrien Revealed for Zagoth Triome. Shout out to the Zagoth Triome suggester. Yeah, is Seth streaming? Isn't it like a little early for him? I don't know. No. Oh, not the rats. Seth, no. Oh, no. I can't handle it. It's too sad. They only revealed gnawing vermin. This only reveal was gnawing vermin. Yeah, everybody wants to break the format, but nobody wants to play a broken format. It's true. What have I become? What have I become? I'd love to lose this game. We lost to the mirror. Sorry, Seth's viewers. Now everybody watching Seth's stream hates me, and you know, rightfully so. This is what MH2 took from us, Rat Tribal. Okay, I'm gonna like, hold on. Can I make my deck worse against them somehow? No, I can't. Let's just get through this. Let's just get through this. This is why creature decks don't exist in Modern. Yeah, exactly. For sure. Board an Ashiok. Yeah, you gotta give your rat opponent respect, you know. You can't just completely style on him. Can we count this one too? Let's not count this one either. Let's not count this one either. I think that's fair, yo. I am gonna like crush him into dust and, you know, destroy every hope and dream Seth has, but I'm not gonna count it for the record tracker. Not gonna count it for the record tracker. Dude, the hits on the rat has been tough. It's just been like just one hit. A win is a win. I'm not counting this one. I will count it if we lose, though. I will count it if we lose. Does this rat have haste? No, of course not. Why is Lord Skitter so shitty, dude? It's just not fair. Why is Lord Skitter so shitty? Okay, ignoring Teferi. I think that's probably correct. Rat deck is more representative of local RCQs. I would be very surprised if more than like 2 people across the world are registering rats at their RCQ. And the ones who are not doing it because they're like, think it's a good tournament deck. Yeah, Bloodbraid is really the best 4-mana creature in a spell in Modern all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened. If you told me that 3 months ago, I'd have laughed at you. Oh, I've got no spells, baby! I've got no spells! You got another Lord Card. Oh, Carbonics! Yes! Let's just draw a land every turn, although I can also bounce my creature next turn. Let's just draw a land every turn the rest of this game. Unearth! Unearth Lord Skitter! This is the best turn I could have ever imagined! Thoughtseize, Carbonics, Unearth Lord Skitter. Let's fucking go, dude! You can do it! Yes! I drew a land! Yes. Oh no, attack Teferi! No, attack Teferi! No! I think I blocked Lord Skitter. They have a removal spell for Shardless Agent. Another Unearth! Let's go, dude. Okay, well. Okay, I drew another land. This big. I drew another land. Yes. No. Okay, that was okay. Another land. Oh, sorry, I meant to kill Lord Skitter. All right, yeah, that's fine, I guess. I think I have to cycle the ice. I just need more. I need to draw a spell. Uh-oh. Okay, you gotta Thoughtseize me, Seth. Okay, no attacks. Smart. I guess it's fine. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Ah, well. Good effort, rats. Very obvious Fury with the Shockland here. Could have Solitude at first. I want to try to block the creature. I think Seth is going to attack. You, like, just can't be... You can't... Like, how could anyone have the mental fortitude to play around Solitude at this spot? It's just, like, actually not possible. I want it, you want it, no one would. Okay, good, good, good. 2 more lands. This is huge. It is funny, like the most flooded we've ever been. Actually, do we have lands left in the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have 3 more lands in the deck. Oh, that's not a very good spell. Okay. Oh man, we might actually lose this game. This is crazy. Oh, never mind. Right. Maybe exactly one copy of Nissa. We have one copy of Nissa. It's not the time. I guess we're gonna 5. You gotta pick a better spot to argue your point. You look silly. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not Fury keeping Rat Tribal out of the modern tournament top 8s. Oh, we broke modern, fuck. We did mold a 5 also. Is this deck better than Beam Blast? Yeah, this deck is actually broken. Beam Blast is good. Beam Blast actually might be, holy shit, is Beam Blast the answer to the mirror though? Like how does this Beam deck beat the Calibrated Blast deck? Fuck. You just don't, dude. Commandeer. I mean, that would be a sideboard card, right? So do we play Bean Blast tomorrow? We can't, right? You actually can't beat the Calibrated Blast deck, probably. Or I don't know, it seems very tough. I guess Endurance could help. Leyline? Yeah. Just play Scape Shift tomorrow? What if they bring an Ashok like you wanted for the mirror? Yeah, Ashok would help. Yeah, they have tools. They definitely have tools. It does seem like a good thought though. IDK, you can see this gameplay and say it's good. I don't know that anybody is like watching this gameplay and thinking it's good. I mean, some people like the idea of like the Shardless Agent Bloodbraid thing, but I think the majority of people agree that this deck is bad for the format. Which, like, as a brewer, I'm kind of happy, but as a someone who enjoys good modern gameplay, I am conflicted. A real that's a thinker for sure. What are we doing? Don't really have a good target. We're gonna make a prediction video for BNR Monday. I don't know. Like what I think they should do is I think they should ban Up the Beanstalk and ban Grief. I think that it's also like from a general logistical standpoint, I doubt that they are gonna actually ban Beanstalk because it's only been broken for like 3 days. It's been good for a while though, and the BNR is on Monday. I think it would be a big mistake to just ban Grief. It also it would be a mistake to just ban Bean. I think they should do both and like unban Bridge from Below, unban Splinter Twin. Not everyone Dingo Respect the Cat have said this is simply another one of your brews. They're wrong. With peace and love, I love them, but they're wrong. History will prove me right. I don't know, at least I think they're wrong. And I should maybe know, right? Because, like, I'm the one who plays the brews. I'm the one who is playing all these damn decks. And I can feel it, I can see it, that this one is on a different level. Like, this is not just another one of my brews. This deck it's on a different level. It is a modern warping deck for sure. Time will tell, like, does the metagame adjust, but I think even if the metagame adjusts, this is the best. This is better than 4-color Omnath. Like, almost for sure in my mind, this deck is better than, like, the existing 4-color Omnath deck, which just puts it on a different level from another one of my brews, you know. Funny you're destroying the deck right now. I mean, you can make a lot of anecdotal evidence that you can lose with the deck. I concur. I concur the deck is capable of losing games. Yeah, but yeah, the deck has been feeling very different. It's on another level, I think. Am I using the challenge? Yeah, there's the Mox this weekend, which is the bigger qualifier tournament. I don't know. I will say this, like, any deck I build, people always go, it's just another spike deck. It really doesn't matter what it is. And I usually agree. Sometimes I disagree and I'm wrong. I disagree at the moment. You can decide for yourselves if I'm wrong or not. But my opinion is that this deck is on another level. This is going to be a tier 1 modern deck. And one that is, like, potentially bannable. What percentage of loss been against the mirror? We've only played it once, so one of them. I'm not counting it to the overall record, though. I think it's bad, because then you get that question all the time. I also didn't count our win against Rat Tribal. I'm currently XO against Cascade Beans. It's just another brew. I mean, I'm 21-5 with the deck. Like, why is your X and O with... We don't even know what X is, like... I don't know if you're maybe just goofing, but... I don't know. I think time will prove me right, I guess, but we'll see. Just a joke, yeah. I guess, yeah. But I mean, that's what like a lot of people say, though, for sure. It's kind of hard to discern parody from reality. X equals 0. Dingo Green is better regular 4-color. His point was that what does it solve? The 4-color problems of Burn, Tron, Titan. Yeah, I don't know if it solves those problems, but like, it's a much more powerful build of 4-color. I think that's true. We have a lot of sideboard cards for Tron. I don't think the Titan matchup's bad. Burn matchup's bad for sure. I don't know. At the very least, like, redefining the 4-color Omnath formula, and like, I don't know, maybe Dingo. I bet Dingo didn't say just another spike brew, because redefining the 4-color formula by itself, that's just a big accomplishment. The deck is so consistent too, which is like what's really exciting about it. Is it's just so hard to fizzle. It's so hard to like draw poorly with the deck. Also, you like mold a 5 super well. You just draw your entire deck every game. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not counting mirror matches for overall record. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to. We don't usually do it for other brews, but we don't play the mirror matches as often. I do think that my current strategy game 1 is to deck my opponents and hope that they don't have tech for decking, and then after this league, we're gonna start playing tech for decking ourselves. He said there were times he wished there was copies of Crashing Footfalls instead. Yeah, a lot of people online said there are times they wish Crashing Footfalls, like, instead. With peace and love, Beanstalk it's a much better plan. It's a much better plan. I think that you are wrong for wanting to play any number of Crashing Footfalls, and I think you're wrong for thinking Rhinos is better. Like, Beanstalk is, like, obviously there are some situations where 4/4s would be better, but there's many more situations where Beanstalk is better, and Beanstalk is a good card to draw. And Beanstalk is a really good card to draw. You know what I mean? Okay, I guess I'm hoping to draw Fury. Kind of fizzled. Alright, dead. I love Dingo, I love Respected Cat though. I'm not trying to throw any shade, I'm just trying to disagree with them. Alright, I think this is our sideboard plan. I'm gonna try the Ashiok now. And I'm gonna think if I play Ashiok, do I also play Endurance? I don't know if I need it, because I still have the Nexus. I can definitely play a lot, like, can breathe a lot easier without it. Let's play 62. So weird. We think about this first. We played against Prowess once. It seemed like a good matchup because you just like it's hard to get burned out when you kill other creatures as effectively. I haven't really looked at Pioneer lately, no. We haven't played against Coffers yet. I think it's maybe close. This he went 3-2, probably supporting quickly and stuff. Yeah, for sure. I mean, not for sure, but I don't know. I think that you can have some like anecdotal like, you know, streamers pick it up. They don't, you know, crush with it the first league. The metagame is also maybe adjusting a little bit. I believe in it though. You can have whatever opinion you like. I'm a believer in the deck. I haven't played against Mill, but we have Endurance and... Do you keep this? No, I think you just... It's just like so bad if your opponent has any beans, because like you're just binding the beans without your own beans. Sounds a lot better, I think. Putting back the Fury, I suppose. I feel like there's an overlap we can find with communicating this deck is insane, but also super hyped and has weaknesses. It's clear that Valakut can really take it for a ride. In theory, other decks, Azu, surely other decks will adjust and give it time to shake out this ring. Yeah, maybe. It's kind of tough. It's because I feel like it is definitely riding that border where it's not Cascade Valky. It's not Cascade Valky for sure. It's not like I'm trying to think of like another like broken like. It's not Hogak, but it's like truly just not that far off in my mind, or at the very least, maybe I shouldn't put it like that. It is far away from Hogak, but it is not far away from. It's not far away from like Uro, Oko, like these kind of like Uro, Oko, Mystic Sanctuary. These cards that are just like make your mid range battles so much clearly better than everything else, and you draw so many cards you see your whole deck every game. It's kind of, maybe that's more so Uro than Oko, I suppose. But it reminds me a lot more of Uro than it does Hogak. Field of Dead. Yeah, Field of Dead is like a bit different. Yeah, there's a few different comparisons you could draw, I suppose. So I think you're supposed to binding just off the mana in these spots. Because they may respawn with Solitude, you can fetch a response. Yeah, you can sideboard some stuff for the mirror. This is not the first time you've had to run with the brew adjustment archetype, and every time things through that, what makes this time different? I mean, maybe what makes this time different is like if you've been watching the gameplay, our record is really, really high. The games we have lost are just not, the games we win are just not close. And the deck, it's a combination of power level, consistency, and like just how lopsided the games are also. Like A lot of times you'll have a brew that's very powerful, but less. This deck is insanely consistent. You have a deck that's very powerful, but less consistent because it's just a normal Magic deck. This is not a normal Magic deck. It's less consistent, so eventually the like your hot streak levels out is how it ends up a lot of the time. This deck is different because of the consistency. This deck, does that make sense? I don't need to say the same thing again, but the consistency is what's different. Do you miss Second Nissa? Second Nissa is good. You just like the one thing too is again you just draw your whole deck. You're fine without Second Nissa, I think. Although I think I want to hold up Commandeer, so I just cast Nissa. It's kind of weird, but don't really want to tap out a Commandeer. Let's keep the old bean advantage. How you run it? We haven't lost to Rhinos We're Living In. We played it like I think them both twice. Hasn't felt like the best matchup, but not bad really. Bloodbean plan. Bloodbean's not that tough to beat. Like you just fetch your basics. You have binding. I fetch basic 4. One thing I think that can be easy to make a mistake is I really like to fetch my basic 4 super aggressively, and then you could just like Bloodbraid into Teferi, bounce the Blood Moon sometimes, just cast all your spells pretty easily. That's been a pretty consistent game plan for me. Okay, nice. Yeah, the rare 5 bean game, maybe. Really only will do it when you have like Nexus and Endurance in your deck, I think. A little bit scared of Elshnorn, but we can draw a lot of cards to try to... We also have Teferi in play. I'm gonna get tested in the challenge. Yeah, it's the Mox showcase this weekend, so it's a good good challenge to play it in. I've been seeing any opponent play Ardent Plea over Bloodbraid Elf would one up me. Ardent Plea sucks. I would love if my opponents registered it against me. Why is Bloodbraid been an outburst? It has a 3/2 haste. You can win the game with it. Bloodbraid is insane. I know like people are just not used to this card being good, but this is not a violent outburst deck. It's a Bloodbraid deck for sure. It's kind of hard to articulate. The deck has a really hard time winning without these kind of cards. I don't know if that's a good way to put it. I was hoping to find my Nexus of Fate. Oh, one card too deep. Yeah, I'm definitely not pitching my Elshnorn. If we could actually see the Nexus plan in action, huh? Okay, go to game 3. Yeah, it's like every time you cast Bloodbraid, all of your hits are insane. A Bloodbraid Elf is either Bloodbraid plus Teferi, Bloodbraid plus Nissa, Shardless into Bean, which is the nuts, or just Bean. All of these are just so good. I was gonna cast Endurance over Shardless there. Yeah, it's good that we're testing the mirror a lot today, I guess. I do think I'll be changing the deck a little bit to be more hedged for it. Does Nexus kill you if you don't have enough cards? If that happens, you've messed up somehow. With an Endurance, with endurance and the extra turns you get off Nexus. You have made a mistake if it kills you, I think, probably. Yeah, I'll stream the box tomorrow. It'd be fun. Second Norm seems better than Nexus. Nexus is so hard to interact with, though. And like, it's also like Norn is not good at multiples, right? So like, if I would rather draw one Norn, one Nexus, than draw two Nexus or two Norns. Like that's gotta account for something also. Think Fury is on the chopping block for Monday? I mean, anything's possible. I think banning Fury would be kind of silly, but you know, there's like a very vocal group of people online who play Rat Tribal, Human Tribal, and want Fury to be banned. With fetches turn 1, how do you decide between Raugrin Garden over Zagoth Foundry? You do Zagoth Foundry most of the time, and when you have Lrien Revealed, you go Foundry, cycle, play Zagoth, have Binding up. I'm even thinking you could maybe cut the Raugrin Triome, but I think having a red Triome is important to cast Charmaws post-board. I think if you just know you're casting Binding turn 2, you should go Triome. Okay, we're on the draw. We have 4 looks at a third land. Let's put back the forest. Dang, they have the nuts. I think here we have to get the black Triome. Cooldown the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Oh, that's I always so happy to draw Murderous Cut in this matchup. We play against Bird. We play against Mono Blackbird. Boros Bird is really good against us for sure. You could win though. Shock again, Foundry. Why did they shock in Foundry, actually? They would have main phase Binding, I think. Let's go cast a Shardless Agent. I would not play Touch the Spirit Realm, that card's pretty weak. Okay, putting Elesh Norn on the bottom, good to note. Putting up Force. Maybe, I don't know. We saw a lot of their deck last game, and it looks like they're just playing my list at the moment. We haven't really seen anything to make me think that they're playing something else. What about Force of Vigors of the Mirror? Force looks like a good plan for the Mirror, maybe. There's just like so much you can do. We need, after this league, we need to take a minute and work on like tweaks for like the updated Mirror metagame. Why do you think Splinter Twin could come back? I think it would be pretty weak overall. Be fun. I think even if it was like a somewhat competitive deck, it would just be not particularly competitive, which tends to be, I think, a good kind of formula for safe unban. Would love to hit a land. We have a lot of looks at a land here. That's kind of a land. Okay, that's actually a land. I think I might just Teferi bounce the Beanstalk here instead of play Agent. What about Ponder? I wouldn't unban Ponder, probably. Not yet. I'm a bit scared about like so many decks just having 4 Ponder, 4 Preordain. Might feel very samey. I wouldn't like hate it, but like what I would do is I would ban Grief, ban Bean, unban Bridge, unban Twin. Wizards almost never does exactly what I would want them to do, just like that's usually the case. So I can't really predict what's going to happen, of course, also. We probably could never Murderous Cut Omnath, right? We just like always have to hold the cut for Elesh Norn. Kind of hope they just cast. I really actually hope they cast Elesh Norn here. Why not discard Nexus to hand size? Is it happening soon? Yeah, it's in like 3 turns. And that'll be like a game-winning play when it happens. Discontinuity for the mirror helps scam your elementals. You're like never scamming it on turn 2. Like, I think Nexus is great because it's just like you get to cast it so many times and it's so hard to interact with. I think it's kind of hard to beat Nexus for me for like this kind of effect. They only banned Bridge because of Hogak. Yeah, Bridge never should have been banned in the first place. It's just like unjustly banned in my opinion. Okay, not a fetch slam. I just cast Omnath? Is that crazy? Doesn't feel that crazy. Can I maybe I can... I do have Teferi for Elishnorn. Let's cast a Shardless Agent. I want to save Omnath for a turn where I draw fetch lands. Oh, they have Commandeer. Okay, I guess I'm happy enough that they will use Commandeer on this and not Nexus, I suppose. And then we can maybe try to Teferi bounce that back next turn. They did definitely game is swinging in their favor. Yeah, you can just never not target Elishnorn with this is my current thinking. It's like a limited game where like both players just draw their entire deck every game. If they have Nexus, we lose. What's on the radar for next iteration? We need to be. This is our second mirror this league. So considerations for the mirror, and that's like very likely main deck Elishnorn or main deck Time Warp. Maybe too greedy to not leave up Murderous Cut here. I felt somewhat confident I could find another removal spell. I do think that we're dead to Bloodbraid Elf, I guess. Do you ever go over 60 cards for pitch card quantity? Dead to Bloodbraid Elf. Well, we are 0-2 in the mirror. I'm still not counting it for overall record. If I lift up Murderous Cut there, maybe we're winning. Yeah, Elishnorn also helps with the Valakut matchup. So let's go ahead and make some changes now. We gotta cook a little bit. Ashok's mostly for Titan matchups. And in this matchup, it's like really good to exile their graveyard and mill them. It's so dumb.